Alright, I think it's about time to wrap up this project so we can clear this off and make room to work on something else. But yeah, I think it's ready to go back together. I bought some fancy stuff here that we can talk about in a minute to do the coating of like the inside of the tank and different places. So anyway, we'll talk about that right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rusty Oliver Man. This is the Model 92 Maytag. It's probably going to end up being more like a Model 31, I think, was the kind that had this style base. Model 16 maybe. But anyway, I got everything I think painted and ready to go. I hand painted the lettering. That's not my best work, but it works. Just like there too. I got dust all over everything now. But I got this red oil resistant finish, which I have seen before. They most often use it in transmissions. Gliptol. And it's supposed to be resistant to everything. And a little bit goes a long way. I mean, it took very little to do this. And I like that a lot better than just you know, letting it go bare and rust and that type of deal. So I think our first step is going to be to put the base plate back on. I guess we could also put, the first step could be put the exhaust elbow on, because it'd be easier to get to the bolts. No, I guess it really doesn't matter. We can do it all at the same time because it doesn't go over top of it. So now I need to get my bolts, which I realized I should have probably put through the that washer thing over there, and I didn't do. But we can make do. We'll clean them up by hand. All right. I realized I almost lost the camera. I set it down amongst all this stuff. But I'm not quite that stupid. I gotta get the... I don't know if you can see what I'm doing or not, but this gasket I was going to set over here, and they punched out all the little holes, but they didn't get all the little pieces out. There we go. So that gasket goes there. That we're going to use later. We need to still do the flywheel. That's a sticker. Those are both stickers. We'll table that for a minute. This is the gasket we're not going to use because I did not take the jug off, so we'll put that away. As this one I'm not going to use either because I didn't take that off. Could if you wanted, but I'm not gonna. Here's our exhaust gaskets. We'll need those. This is our carburetor gasket. It'll go like that. We'll save it for a little bit later. These are for your magneto, I believe. Your spark plug wire retainer piece thingamajig. But we don't need that yet either. I was checking to see if there was a gasket that did this, and there's not. It's just metal to metal, so we can do that pretty easy. I think these are the 4 bolts. There. I'm pretty sure that's... Yeah, who knows? Uh-oh. My chair is about to leave me. I just felt it change its shape. We're on borrowed time with this old rotten stool, but that's fine. I needed a space to finish this pedal tractor, so that's why I want to get this done. Now, Do I have the right tools? Probably not, but there we go. Okay, so we need to clean up this ledge a little bit. Let's go ahead and put this on as well, which I need to find what bolts did that. I've got so much stuff out here. That's the screw that does that. Those are fuel tank bolts, right? So it would be that one and that one probably. Okay, well, I'm short a lock washer, but that's fine. We can go back and change that later. Switch to this one before we do our final tightening. All right, well, as much as I don't want to waste progress, I don't remember when I brought that down here, but I'm sure it's still good. I'm started talking and then changed gears halfway through that sentence, but anyway, I think that instead of keeping going here, I'm going to run that ultrasonic cleaner with the hardware, and also I have some aluminum pieces, but that bottle of the cleaner that it came with is not good for aluminum. So I think what I'm going to do is try Dawn dish soap. Some people use that. I've got some of that on hand, and I'm going to put in things like this oil collector, and what else can we put in there? This piece, and basically all the hardware, you know, anything that still has nasty green paint on it, like this spark plug wire holder. I don't know why I'm putting that in there, don't need that. Let's put this pin in there, sure. I would love to put this in there, but it might have to be a cycle on its own. I guess I could I put that in there and just not put the lid on it, maybe? It'll kind of go. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'll fill it up and put some of that stuff in, and we'll let her run and see if our hardware comes out just as pretty as can be, because basically I don't want to spend a lot of time here jacking around with cleaning fasteners since I already own that machine, you know. I guess I can set this on there just to take up less space. All right, so we will continue our journey here in a little bit once I get all the hardware cleaned up. So let me get the stuff and then we'll fire it up. All right, that's sure to make a mess. It's already a bubbly pile. So let's just cook her. Timer. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. I thought it... Alright. We'll let that eat, and then we'll come back later and see what it's like. I know it looks on the camera like that's going wild, but in person it doesn't do that. It's just the nature of filming. That is such an odd sound when you hear it, you know. But I'm sure it knows what it's doing. It worked last time on the carburetor, so it should surely work on this. I suppose while we're waiting, we can strip this down. I need to take... I want to take this piece off of the aluminum. And it's no big deal, but... and we also need to get this collar off. So I think I'll just take this off. I can carry this with me to the service truck and get the right size Allen deal and get that off of there. But this needs to be painted. And so if we use our wits about us, we can make that happen. I'm thinking seriously about cooking this too, but be a mistake. I'd have to do it in a couple heats, I think, to get it off of there. We'll see how well that back plate and stuff comes off. Or not. Come on. Paper gasket, more paper. Oh, it's the waiting game now. It's gonna take a long time, but such is life. All right, while we're waiting, I was digging through my parts. I got that. I put this piece back on. The thing that holds it on is this little oiler bolt. The early ones didn't have that. They had like a screw and you were supposed to take it out and oil it. Nobody was doing that, so they did that. But now we got to assemble our new pickup tube, because the depth of the base determines the style pickup that you have. So they ship this all in pieces, which is no big deal. I mean, that's fine, but we got to put it together. And hopefully I don't lose anything. So this is actually a gasket, which they punched out and didn't punch out. And then your check valve itself is this little flapper thing. If I can get it. Maybe not. Maybe I can't get it. You know? I'm having such issue just getting the gasket on there. Alright. This little flapper has a flat side on it. And that's enough to let some fuel through. But it also holds back as this goes, and I didn't get it flat in there. But anyway, when you put it together, you probably can't hear that on there, but you can hear the little flapper shaking, and that's what you want. And if you try to blow through it, you can't blow. It lets a little air out because of that cutout in the flap, but you can tell there's a lot more air going the other way, like if you try to draw on it, than if you try to blow through it. So, like I said, as long as you can hear that flapper moving, you should be good. Comparison, really the other one probably would have worked, but I just went ahead and bought a new one, but some of them are different, so yeah. This one is not really, this one's probably got a steel ball in it, but there's not a lot you can do with this. I mean, I'm sure it unscrews, but no filter of any kind. At least this one has a screen and you can somewhat take it apart and clean it. All right, I'm impatient, so let's stop it there. See if we accomplished anything. I think that might have actually done something. I was kind of skeptical about the soap. I might have to wash this off actually, because I don't know how else let me go get a tub of clean water. I wish I had something a little more aggressive to take off that gunk, but I think it did help. I may hit it with the wire wheel and then cook it again. We don't need this just right now. Yeah, let's get the basket out. I threw the carburetor in at the last minute. That might have been a mistake, but like I said, that's mainly there why I didn't use that other cleaner, because the aluminum, it says very clearly on that bottle, could get discolored, and I don't want that. However, it did nothing to take off the paint without it. That already had the stripper on it there. So that did nothing. That cleaned a little. That I mainly just wanted to cook that paper off of there, which I think I accomplished. Alright, did I accomplish this? No, I did not. Maybe a little bit. Our aluminum needs another go round. The rest of this I think I'm gonna just manhandle into submission here. I need my bolts for those bolts, the pin. That I don't know if I should just put the stripper stuff on and then cook it later. I don't know. I mean, that is good adhesion with this paint. Alright, I'm showing you what I'm doing here, but just a little bit of scraping, that stuff will peel right off. So I think I'm going to do that with everything, kind of hit it a little bit more by hand, and then put some of that back in the cooking, and I think we'll be good. Okay, so my recommendation is, if you ever are thinking about using pastel paint, don't. Because this has been nothing but a problem to get all this stuff loose. And I should be able to get this, well, I guess we'll table that. I was trying to, yeah, let's put this on first. Let's fold it down more solid anyway. There's different length bolts too, so the long one has to go in the front where that this cover will bolt on up there. Can we cheat? We'll just set that in the hole for now, but it has to come out again. Got a little aggressive with my wire wheeling a while ago. Oh well. I was almost positive that I pulled this through without. Yeah, come on. Now, I have to think about this a minute. There's a hole in there, but I don't think that has to correspond with anything. I think it's just along for the ride. Everything else pivots on this shaft. Alright, so our new handle is going to go in there like this, but there is also like a set screw with a piece of, I guess it's like a carbon thing or something. I got it loose the other day on the other one. I just got to get the little fiber piece down in there first. I should probably go get a little bit of grease and get this all lubed up, because if I don't, I'm going to regret it, I bet you. Alright, I'm going to use this white grease, which is probably not appropriate for here, but it's what I have in here. And it says for multi-things around the home or whatever. So, yeah. I don't know why it won't work. It maybe just doesn't have as much longevity. But we don't know that. This would be what you would have found in your house, so, you know. Alright. The next affair, there is that spring, which we can't use on its own now. Alright, so what I'm saying is, originally this return spring went into the base. It no longer will do that. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and put it in there, and then we will, when we mount it later onto something, we'll sort out putting it. I think on the other one I have that has this style base, I just mounted it to the, what am I trying to say? I mounted it to the wood skid that it was on, but this one, if it's going to be in a garden tractor, we'll have to do something slightly different. Alright, well, I broke that cotter pin, so I'm going to try the other side, which is way too long, but, oh, and it still has turquoise paint. See, right here is a good example of why this little sliding tooth needs to work, because otherwise you'll get bound up. So that's got to go the right way. Put our spring in. There was this washer. pretty sure was in here. Thrust style, see? Alright, can this go? Oh, there. Long bolt. Need to get a fuel plug too. I realized I don't have. That's nice. And turn this in. I don't think I have a adjustable here. I think that's the way I did it last time, so. On the way, friends. On the way. Alright, I got the ultrasonic cleaner fart pounding away over there. But I got the carburetor cleaned up and ready to go on. Normally, well, what do I want to say? This carburetor's not quite right. It does not. It's been apart, obviously, and somebody's messed this up a little. Also, it doesn't have the lock washer thing under it that would be on them. But I feel like it ran, so I'm not going to mess with it until I have to. Not like this thing's ever going to really get run very much anyway. The only other thing I would change about this, I guess, is this has got the basic style screen in there for cleaning. And if it's going to be on that garden tractor, I think I'll get the deluxe one that sticks in there, and then it's like a canister filter. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. That's a long ways off. I thought about just buying another carburetor for this motor and then using this one on that one that I've got on the washing machine that I'm trying to fix up the whole washer. But I don't know if it's worth that or not. You got your nice little gasket here. And I need to get, still not ready, still not prepared. Oh no, safe space. These actually have lead washers. I'm so afraid of sadness. I'm actually missing a lead washer. But that's okay. I don't know what I would have done with it. It probably wasn't on there to start with. I'll probably end up taking this off again because I need to stamp it the model number that it is, which I think I'm going with 31 or 16, I can't remember. Whatever it is for this configuration. I'll get there. But for now, blank is good. Also, I'm hoping that I got this still set right. Sometimes, what do I want to say? You don't, like if I go this way, I could still go around another turn before it bottomed out. But in order for it to run, it was set more open than that. So what you got to do, even though that doesn't really make sense of what I'm saying, if you need more than what you got to take the carburetor off and open it another turn and then put the carburetor back on so that you got the right fuel adjustment. I'm hoping that it will run where it's at. since we changed that fuel tube, that's the big if. There. Our next thing will be getting all this put in there. Eventually. I never even unwrapped this all the way, but this is my new flapper that goes on the end. It's a much more appropriate length than the original that was on this motor. It was not right, so I'm gonna get that. I guess I gotta reuse the bolt that was on there. All right, I could have made this piece, but why? They make them reproduction and they're cheap. So I just as soon buy it from somebody and help them out too. I probably wanted to go the other way, but whatever. All right. How have I normally done that? I think I normally crimp that over a little bit. I thought I had got a new spark plug, but I obviously didn't. I can't find it, or if I did, it fell out of the box because the box of parts arrived upside down with the top ripped open, which the top used to be the bottom, so that may have walked away. I need to look at the order and see if that's really what I did or not. But basically, I think we're ready for our flywheel and backing plate and everything. And yeah, so I'll look and see how much footage this is. If it's enough for its own video, then we'll probably stop here, and then in the next one we'll see it run. I think it probably is, because I'm about out of battery. That's over an hour of footage. So anyway, we made progress. We got a fair amount of it back together again, and we are on the downhill slide. So next time, hopefully we will see it run again. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. That helps out the channel, and it doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment. Tell me that you liked it, or tell me that you hated it. Tell me I'm a moron. I really don't care, but anything that you say helps us out too. So thank you again, as always, for watching, and I will see you in the next one.